All right, welcome guys. We are here today with Sarah Thomas and Cathy Armando, two of our American sales associates. We're going to talk a little bit today about what it takes to manage, operate, really get a sales hub up and moving. They both have very interesting backgrounds. They've really come together to start up our Dallas location. So welcome to the podcast, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to do it.
This is great. So let's start off by, let's hear a little bit about your backgrounds. Cathy, let's start with you.
All right, so I had a long career, many years working with children in one capacity or another, program director, and then teacher. And after about 2 years of convincing, Sarah brought me over to the dark side to start selling promotional products about 5 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. I just love it. I love the challenge and something different every day.
Nice. Sarah?
So I've been with American for over 12 years. Prior to that, I was working for Nationwide Insurance, but I'd gone to school for marketing, focusing on print and advertising. So when I had an opportunity to interview for a job at American, it was a no-brainer. Obviously, still here, and don't see myself going anywhere in the very near future. But yeah, so I've been with American for pretty much the bulk of my career.
Right. And I think it's really cool that you started from the home office and then really transitioned into the sales associate position. And, you know, it kind of gives you leverage because you understand the back end of a lot of things, but you still get to be out in the field.
Yeah, no, definitely starting, and doing everything from a customer service level now up to sales. It helps dramatically.
So one thing that I think is awesome about American is that we are very family-based. We have a lot of couples, and you two are married. And, we've actually talked offline a little bit about what it takes to be in a relationship, but also work together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a balancing act. A lot of couples work their 9 to 5 separately and then come back together in the evening and on the weekends. And for us, it's, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, work together, play together. But I think it also gives us an advantage because we're able to sit there on a Saturday night or on a weeknight and we understand what each other's working on and we can sit and brainstorm and collaborate together. So it just takes that partnership to a completely different level. And it also, she knows what I'm stressed out about and vice versa. So there's that deeper understanding about what's going on in each other's, everyday life.
It took us a while though. And even so, trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses, you think you're good at one thing and then you realize you're not. But we play off really well with, what I'm good at, Cathy's not always great at and vice versa. So, just kind of have to work to find the balance and try not to work too much on nights and weekends.
Right. Is it hard to separate that?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and for what we do, we're exposed to product with logos on it constantly. So we're out to dinner, we're like, oh, that's a really nice menu, or that's a really nice shirt that person's wearing. So we're always just surrounded by the product. And then, we find rabbit trails and we start talking about, what we can present to our clients to improve marketing.
Oh, man.
I think some of the best ideas we've had and strategy sessions have been at, 7 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, having a glass of wine, to try and unwind from our day. And then all of a sudden we've got this whole plan put together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really a leg up. I mean, a lot of people go home and they don't think about work again. And it's nice to separate that, but at the same time, it really shows, you guys have been so successful lately. I think that's a real testament to how you guys just structure your life. Can you tell me a little bit about your current office situation?
We have a bit of a unique situation. So when we moved forward with opening up our Dallas or Irving, Texas location, it was 4 different business units that all came together to create one office, shared office space. And through that decision to come together, we hired support staff that we all share. So we're not necessarily all part of the same team, but we kind of function that way. But we have currently 2 people on staff who help us with all of our product sourcing. They deal directly with clients and suppliers, and they support all of us. So they're cross-trained. They can pick up when, if someone's busy, they can kind of switch gears to help someone out. And so far it's been really, really successful for us. And we're looking to add additional people to our support team to help us keep growing.
Well, and it allows both of the support staff that we currently have to understand different facets of business. You know, all of the business units that we have in our office, we all do very different things. You know, some things are somewhat similar, you know, e-commerce and whatever, but at the same time, you know, the way we run our business versus the way some of the other sales reps do and the suppliers that we use are all just completely different. So these girls are kind of pulling information and ways of doing things from all of us and then collaborating and putting it together. So there might be, you know, some facets of business where we're extremely efficient and, you know, the other business units are learning from that and vice versa, you know, and same thing, exposing us to different product lines and suppliers. So I think all in all, it's been really beneficial to the support staff and helping them, you know, learn the business as a whole.
Great. So do you think that a lot of your success stems from the support team that you have set up?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's knowing that when something comes across over email or a customer needs something or there's a rush or we're at an event like we are today, you know, where we're out of the office, that it's going to get handled. It's going to be handled quickly, efficiently, and correctly. You know, it's a game changer. It lets us go out and do the higher level, more strategic, you know, things that we should be doing to build the business, and letting them hold down the fort and really get things done.
A lot of people don't realize how long it takes to source products. When someone comes to us and they're like, we're looking for shirts, pens, bags, or we're looking for ideas for a trade show giveaway, it's not something that necessarily happens in 5 minutes. It could take hours to compile information and products and pricing to provide to people. So if we're busy doing that, then other parts of the business suffer. So support is everything.
Got it. So for maybe sales associates who aren't to the point where they can afford a sales team or a sales support team, what would you recommend that they do?
Use your supplier partners. They are the experts. You know, we know enough to be dangerous, but they know everything that, you know, to be efficient. So instead of going on one of the search, you know, engines or looking on websites and sourcing product, you reach out to those partners, you know, and you can find that in the vendor directory. You can search by product, you can search by vendor. Reach out to that contact, you know, let them know, hey, I've got this client, they've got an event coming up, they're not really sure on budget, but, you know, this is the theme of the event, or these are the types of products that they're thinking. You know, give me your top 5. You know, our motto in the office is work smarter, not harder. And, you know, the amount of time that it takes to go on a website and pull products off and then ask for pricing and all that rigmarole, you know, it could be done in about 30 seconds. Shoot up a quick email, this is what I need, and they will send like the top selling items. They know what's good and what's not.
Yep.
So what kind of hurdles have you guys really experienced in this whole process of getting that office space set up, getting your team built? You know, it doesn't happen overnight. I feel like there's some lessons that you have learned that maybe you can help other people out with.
Yeah, I think training is a huge struggle in what we do. Just, you know, it's not something that there isn't a book, there isn't a course or, you know, a degree that you can really go after on how to sell printing and promotional products. It's a lot of it is, you know, you pick from different industry associations, or, you know, you kind of have to piecemeal the training process, which, because every book of business is different. So that is, that can be very overwhelming. So when we look to hire support people, we do look for folks that have some type of industry experience, whether it's print or promotional. I would say the other hurdle is the constant juggling of your to-do list. Priorities change by the minute. Everything is a hot priority with the exception of maybe 10% of what's coming through your inbox. So we are constantly looking at what's on our list of things to do, what's on the support staff's list of things to do, and just juggling around the priorities. That can be tough. It's definitely a team effort to get that worked out.
Yeah, and I mean, and there's definitely, we're very hands-on in management kind of sense where, you know, our support staff is extremely efficient. They're very bright. They're knowledgeable. But at the same time, it can be overwhelming. So number one, in the interviewing process, it's key to make sure that you're selecting somebody that can multitask, somebody that understands, all right, so this is the due date for this. I'm working on this project, but something else that's hot came through. Being able to shift and balance.
Mm-hmm.
Pivoting is key in this industry. You're never going to wake up in the morning and come in and know, this is what I'm going to do all day. This is my plan. We all have plans. They definitely never seem to come to fruition. So somebody that's able to multitask, pivot, switch things up when they need to, and also prioritize. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, and understanding, you know, like Sarah said, everything is a priority, but really what is the top priority and how am I going to get that accomplished?
Is it hard to find those perfect candidates?
Absolutely. We've had a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to getting somebody with print and promotional knowledge. It's usually one or the other. I think promotional products, it's easier to train somebody on. Print, it's really beneficial to find somebody that has at least a minimum amount of experience. Just because, I mean, it's just a completely different language.
Well, one of the things in our particular book of business is that it is a fast-paced, kind of high-pressure experience. You know, you've got phone calls coming in and emails, and you get bombarded from people coming up behind you and handing you stuff. So being able to find someone that has the personality, you know, it's not just industry experience, it's someone that has the personality and the demeanor to be able to
stay cool,
keep up with, stay cool, stay focused as much as possible, and just get the job done.
Right. So hiring the right person, obviously super important. How much of a factor do you think culture plays into that?
In our office, it's extremely important. We also co-office with a digital marketing company. And so they do all of the things that you can't touch and feel, and we do the opposite. And culture is very important for them too. And we've kind of developed that same outlook. You know, it's not just a place where you're coming in to put your hours in, source promotional and print products. We're family, you know, we're a team through and through. And even though we all have our separate books of business, we all come together and we collaborate, you know, whether it's the sales reps, when we're sitting here, you know, hey, who do you use for this? And how do you do this? And so on and so forth. But it's also our support team, you know, they're collaborating with all of us. And, you know, we work hard, but we also make sure that everybody feels appreciated. You know, we like to do happy hour with everybody, or we'll do a team dinner. You know, if a big project gets completed, we make sure that, you know, we all kind of come together and we celebrate that because it's an accomplishment. So culture is definitely a big part of it, and making sure that everybody gets along. I mean, we don't want anyone ever to feel like they're on the outside looking in. So we place a very strong emphasis on making sure that we are all one, you know, equal team.
Well, I think that we both had experiences in the past where we worked for people who made us feel, you know, less than, you know, we weren't very appreciative, or they weren't very appreciative of what we were doing. And that definitely weighed on kind of how we were going to continue to grow as business people. So it's not always about how much money is hitting their bank account, you know, every other week. There's a lot more that goes into, especially where we are in North Texas. It's super competitive. There's so many companies down there that are hiring. So if you just go salary to salary, you know, that's a tough battle to win, but you offer the other types of things that, you know, people come into work like, oh, there's breakfast tacos, or there's donuts, or, you know, lunch, whatever it is. I mean, that little stuff goes a really long way.
Do you think that's a generational thing? Like, do younger employees search for that kind of thing? Or do you think that's just how it's always been?
I think so. It could be that maybe the younger generation just kind of realizes that kind of stuff exists more and more, so they maybe expect it. Whereas, I don't know, when I was job hunting, like to go into an office and there was a snack wall and a drink refrigerator stocked at all times, like that concept was so foreign to me. But now I think that it's becoming more common. People want kind of that flex.
It's almost like the Google atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
It's that,
that big open collaborative workspace, you know, things like that. Having an area where people can just go and kind of decompress and relax and kind of separate themselves, even if it's for 5 minutes, kind of pull it back together. I think, you know, that's definitely a big draw for people that work with us.
Awesome. So, you know, we have 600 plus sales associates all over the United States. Some are starting out right away in their careers, and hopefully they're looking for their goals are going to be to get to where you guys are. What words of wisdom or motivation can you give to them?
So I would say, one, find, a little network of people that you trust and rely on, that if you're in a jam or you have a project that you don't know the answer to, you can reach out to. And
who's your network, Sarah?
Who's my network?
Yeah.
So I've got John and Tracy McNerney down in Austin, Texas. The reps obviously in the office. We have a couple reps in Philadelphia and Colorado that I'll reach out to, and even on the West Coast. So my network is kind of smattered across the country. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have a network, Cathy?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the same thing, and it's also the suppliers. Those are my network too,
Yeah,
I mean,
very true.
There's another really great resource that we stumbled on maybe about a year ago. It's the Promotional Products Professional Group on Facebook. So that's a group that's mixed between suppliers and then distributors from all over. It's not just ASB. And you can go on and post if somebody gives you this really just out there, whatever. You go on there and you post, and within minutes, you've got suppliers telling you who to go to, whether it's them or someone they know. You've got other distributors that have had experience in that realm, and that has solved some really, really tough challenges for us. So there's a ton of resources out there, and I definitely think just, like Sarah said, building that network, whether it's suppliers or other sales reps, that's key.
I think communication is one thing that everybody sort of struggles with, and if you're presented with a program or a project from a customer, I think a lot of people tend to take that on themselves to figure out how to get stuff done. But if you pick up the phone and you call someone in your network, be like, hey, I have this situation and I just kind of want to talk through it. Like, you'd be really surprised at what kind of information you can pull from just having a 10-minute conversation with someone that could make your life so much easier, save you hours of frustration or research or whatever. Yeah. So I think you have to find that network.
Nice. And I did kind of interrupt you there. you were
good.
On a good roll. So other than finding that network, what other motivation can you provide for our aspiring reps?
I think you just constantly have to be looking at how you do business.
Yep. It's that work smarter, not harder mentality.
You get stuck into, this is how I've always done things, and the world is changing so fast. And, with American, we have so many influencers that are, whether it's our suppliers, technology, new sales reps that come on board, there's always tools that are out there that, we don't always necessarily know about until we start asking people about, well, how do you handle your workflow? How do you handle your project management? It's just, finding ways that you can make yourself a lot more efficient.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And that's not easy, to sit down to say, well, I've done this way for so many years. Like, to change your ways is tough, but it could be such a game changer.
You've got to evolve. I mean, our clients are evolving. The business itself is evolving. The industry is evolving. And if you stay exactly how it was 5 years ago, even 2 years ago, you're not going to be able to keep growing. That's just that you have to be flexible.
Sure. So as you guys move forward, what are some of your goals?
Well, not to work 80-hour work weeks would be one.
80 hours?
No, that's an exaggeration. I'm being dramatic. No, I think it's, for us, the immediate goal, we want 2 more support people, because we want to be able to pull ourselves back even further to really focus on, the data, the analytics of the customers that we work with, the products that we're selling, the e-commerce sites that we have, like really digging back and looking into those sites to say, okay, what's selling, what's not selling, and how can we improve this?
Part of the work smarter.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it all comes back to that. So that's our immediate goal. From a sales standpoint, we want to double our sales in the next 3 years, which is no easy feat. So we just, trying to keep our heads down and focus is.
Absolutely. And I think, we definitely want to increase our program work, and we really want to keep growing the technology that we're offering to our customers. You know, I mean, everyone talks about the millennials at this event. You know, everybody's talking about how to sell to the millennial. Well, that is press a button and call it a day. I mean, they want to go on a website. They want to be able to see what they're doing. They want to be able to upload a logo or, you know, whatever, customize it however they want, because that's what they're doing on, you know, all of these other retail websites. So it's key for us to try and push that technology and provide solutions to our customers and keep growing the business that way.
Yeah. Does that scare you a little bit that it's changing in that direction, or is that exciting?
I think it's exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's, you know, e-commerce, we're huge proponents of that. We do a lot of our business online, and you know, it frees you up. We don't want to be touching every business card order. We don't want to be touching every apparel order that comes through, and there's no reason at this point that you should. You know, we have the ISIS technology that we can offer our clients, or even use it internally. You know, if you're managing a program and you don't want to have to sit here and place all these apparel orders, and the customer doesn't necessarily want to go on and utilize the site, that doesn't mean that you can't. And you send that information digitally over to the supplier, and that's it. You know, you don't have to sit there and do a PO and send over the artwork.
Sure. Awesome. Well, that's all I have today. Did we miss any like glaring details that you guys feel like could really help out the rest of our sales associates? I mean, we covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
But...
No, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to that. Like our motto is working smarter, not harder, and communication. Just being vulnerable, really, to open yourself up to asking questions and asking for help.
Being open to learning,
yeah.
You know, I mean, that's really what you're never going to know everything there is to know about anything. You know, I mean, there's always new things, new ways of doing things, new products coming out. You know, we have suppliers every month come into our office, and we do lunch and learns, and we'll bring in area reps as well as the reps in our office. And then lately, the last two that we've done, we're bringing in customers. So we're doing it where, you know, we've got 3 to 4 different non-competing suppliers that come in, and we do 20-minute meetings, you know, in the different conference rooms or different areas. And it's been great, the feedback that we've gotten from the reps that come in as well as the customers. And that's how you stay in front. That's how you stay ahead. You know, your customers they don't want to give out the same stuff over and over and over again. So just being out there, open to learning, and building those relationships where you can find new things.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much.
You're welcome
for taking some time today.
Absolutely, happy to
anytime.
It's so nice we're together. I feel like we're always just across the country. It's
emails
nice to spend some time together and get this together. So